Hi guys, it's Pearl Jr. How are you today? I fixed up the background a little bit so there's not a lot of clutter. Oh, I got one DVD to go out. I go to the post office daily, even on Sundays. Anyway, I this is another live broadcast, and I'd like to thank YouTube for going live. It's just brought me back to YouTube and all you subscribers. Well, I have so much news to report to you guys. Oh my God, things are really heating up. Okay, I'm going to start with this audio. Okay.
I was born in 1958, and I passed away on June 25th, 2009. I miss all my fans around the world. I look home each day. It's now 2018, and you're still celebrating my life. I am so thankful. I love you guys so much. I miss you.
Okay, I hope you heard that. If you didn't, go to my Pearl Jr. group and you can listen to that. It's Michael Jackson's voice, okay, saying it's 2018. I passed away on June 25th, 2009. Well, faked his death that day. And that he loves everyone and he looks forward to seeing everybody. And it sounds exactly like him. Usually, I've been studying Michael Jackson my whole life since I was a 6-year-old little girl, and really studying him really professionally since 2006. 2005, since I covered the trial in 2005. And that sounds exactly like Michael Jackson. I found this MJJ. Oh, I gotta decline. It was my sister. I'll call her back. And it's my sister's birthday today, and Marlon Jackson's birthday today, and some other stuff with March 12th, and I'll tell you guys about that in a minute. But anyway, got this from someone on Twitter named MJJ Smiley. And then they got it from somebody on Instagram, but I don't know which came first. And on this day that it was released, I get a phone call from Peter, of course, AKA Bobby Anderson, AKA Michael Joe Jackson, Peter Midani, that is. Now, the Peter Pan PYT guys on Twitter now is not the same Peter Midani. They stole his name back in August of 2014. So he's been, using Peter Midani ever since, and he showed ID to Facebook. So please watch a live 3. I got an idea of where he got that ID from, and it makes plenty of sense. So make sure you watch a live 3. Okay, so we heard that voice from Michael Jackson. I hope it came out right, but I'd like to thank MJJ Smiley for sending it to me from Twitter. All right. So let's move on. Lots of stuff has happened, lots of clues. Okay, Paris wore a butterfly dress. I know she's going to be in the movie Gringo. She has a role, and she also made it a little tiny, like 2-second thing. She's in the promo too. So she is building her career. Certain things she does, I don't agree with. Paris, I'm sorry, honey. I'm a mama. And just something, but anyway, we'll talk about that at another time. But you are doing good in your career, okay? And she wore a butterfly dress, and you guys know that if you watched the Alive trilogy, you know that Invincible was when Michael really wanted to fake his death. And he had all these songs called Heaven Can Wait and Threaten, where he's the living dead, and he has the song Butterflies. And butterfly represents a new beginning because a butterfly is first a caterpillar, and then it grows into a new life and spreads its wings, and it is a caterpillar. So I put butterflies on every single DVD that I sell on the packing slip, and I sell it. So she had a dress of butterflies, which was really cool. Also, Paris wore rabbit ears. Okay, she wore a Bugs Bunny glittery T-shirt, which is cute, and it has, and she gave a wink as well while she was wearing it, and the rabbit hole, the white rabbit fold. She used to do a lot of stuff with Paris and her clues and down the rabbit hole and magicians and Chris Angel and the rabbit and it matching with Michael's This Is It. And you guys gotta watch the documentary so you understand what I'm saying. There's so much information. But anyway, she wore Bugs Bunny rabbit ears. And then Macauley Culkin. Macaulay Culkin has a website called rabbitears.com. And the day that she wore the t-shirt, or within 24 hours that she wore the t-shirt, on his rabbitears.com website, there is a story called The Beginning Guide to Faking Your Death. Bam! Okay, so we have that. And it gives you 4 steps, and I read the whole thing, and it's pretty much find a body double. That was one of the things, which that's my whole premise, that Michael used a body double, and bribe the coroner. Okay, and I got to get to the coroner. Okay. Also do a lot of pre-planning. So if you're going to say that you died in water, take scuba diving lessons. If you say that you're going to die in a fire, tell people certain things to set it all up. So Michael being sick and ill and all this stuff, which there was zero proof of that. Even in the autopsy, zero proof of any kind of terminal illness, because that dead body died of a drug overdose, and that's why there were all those benzodiazepines in the body. So set it up. That's what one of the clues were. And this is like really telling what Michael Jackson did. And then bribe the coroner. Okay. The LA coroner, because that is where it really happened. What made Michael's fake death possible had to go through the coroner's office. The mistake had to be done at the coroner's office, okay? Because when the EMT came to Carrollwood, they said it looked like an old hospice patient. Remember that? Okay, and they said they didn't recognize it was Michael Jackson. They said that in the preliminaries, but then later on they said he did. Come on, you didn't know it was him. You thought it was an old white man who had been suffering a long illness, hospice patient, cancer patient. Those were your words. And I proved that in the Alive trilogy. So you guys, if you haven't watched it, there's so much backstory that I can't tell you all of it in Alive, because then I start rambling and going off on this branch and that branch and that branch, when all of it is there for you to see as proof, as evidence, as clues, as fact. Okay, so anyway, the coroner. All right, so I got my letters. See, I wrote several letters to people, and I used the Freedom of Information Act. Okay, so I sent a letter with the Freedom of Information Act and all the 5 USC Section 552 of the Freedom of Information Act. And I told him, I said, Michael Jackson's driver's license used to identify the dead body. I wanted a copy of that. I wanted fingerprint confirmation from the FBI confirming that the identity of the body was Michael Joe Jackson, or Michael Jackson, all records associated with the autopsy and all records associated with Michael Jackson. Well, they sent me a really clean copy of the autopsy. So I have a really clean copy of the autopsy, but duh, of course I have that. But I guess I asked for it. I said associated with the autopsy. I didn't ask for the autopsy. So anyway, so he pretty much sent me a response, okay, from Ed Winter, okay. He says, please be advised that I will not be providing the requested information, which does not fall under the Freedom of Information Act. So he pretty much said, F you, okay? So then he says, I will not send Michael Jackson's driver's license. All driver's licenses are sent back to the Sacramento DMV. Okay, so, and then he says that he can tell me, he can confirm that it was Michael and it wasn't misidentified. Well, I know you said that, duh. No, that's what you're saying. I'm saying I don't believe you, because in the verdict, oh, let me not move on. Let me not move on. Okay, so anyway, so then he's telling me, then go to the DMV. So, okay, Mr. Winter, I sent a letter to the California DMV, okay, using the same Freedom of Information Act. And I wanted to know if there was a driver's license in the name of Michael Joseph Jackson, because all the death documents are in the wrong name of Michael Joseph Jackson. His legal forms of identification, his passport and his driver's licenses, which I have several of them that are in the Alive Trilogy documentaries, and they all say Michael Joe Jackson. Even how he gets paid, his BMI royalties, where he gets millions of dollars, that's in Michael Joe Jackson, with all his names of his songs and everything is all under Michael Joe Jackson. And so is his bail from the 2005 trial for $3 million. That's in Michael Joe Jackson. And like I reported last time, thanks to Gretchen Chapin, she sent me a document with proving that his ownership of the Sony catalog, his previous ownership, because he sold it a year and a half ago, is in the name of Michael Joe Jackson. So if all his paying and every way that he gets paid, which is attached to your social security number, is in the name of Michael Joe Jackson, then it is reasonable to deduct that his social security number is in the name of Michael Joe Jackson. Because believe you me, he is not going to risk playing the name game with $3 million or something worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Okay. So, and he's never released the driver's license. Now, Luna Joe, who is somebody who believes Michael's dead, and I don't know how you can believe Michael's dead now, she found some blog that said Michael Joseph Jackson social security number, and some blog where somebody just typed something in. Sorry, honey, that is not legal proof. That is someone on a blog, just like Find a Grave, that many fans had sent to me, said Michael was buried at Forest Lawn. Michael was never buried at Forest Lawn. Forest Lawn had told me and millions, and not millions, but lots of other fans that we don't have Michael's body. We've never had Michael's body. I even had an employee of Forest Lawn. Somebody did. It's in my thing. I can't remember everybody's name, and I'm so sorry if I can't remember your name. I think she told me not to use her name. Well, anyway, an employee said, I looked through all the records, public, private, inner office. We do not have anybody buried at Forest Lawn, at any Forest Lawn, in the name of Michael Joe Jackson or Michael Jackson on the birth date and the death date. So finally, Catherine had to say, no, I had him cremated. He's not buried there. Well, duh, he wasn't in their database. There was no name on the grave. So duh, of course he's not there, guys. Okay, but everybody want to call me crazy or call us death hoaxers crazy. And then I posted a picture, you guys, of Michael supposedly dead in the hospital, and the ear is black, charcoal black. Okay, it is photoshopped, and I show you where it's photoshopped from, and it's like they plopped the ear on there in Photoshop or some kind of photo altering, manipulating type of thing. They plop the ear on there, and that's on my Pearl Junior group too, and it's also in the documentary, the Alive trilogy of Michael Jackson documentaries, where I prove to you where that came from. Okay. And in my documentaries are credits galore, hundreds of credits. Okay. So I do try to give credit when I feel it's warranted. Okay. Now, so anyway, so let's get back to the DMV. So now that the coroner said, I sent the driver's license back to the California DMV. Okay, so now you're telling me to go to the California DMV. So I wrote a Freedom of Information Act to the California Department of DMV, and I got a call a couple months later. I was wondering what the heck. Somebody called me, and he was like, well, why are you asking me about his name when you already sent me a copy of his driver's license? So he was already telling me that's what they have. Those driver's licenses, the copies of them with Michael Joe Jackson that are in my documentaries are valid. They are real. We also have a copy of the driver's license application. in the name of Michael Joe Jackson. So there should be no dispute that his name is Michael Joe Jackson. Now, Michael has said, my name is Michael Joseph Jackson. Well, duh, Michael plays the game, the name game. And just like the It's All in the Name, It's All in the Game, that song about the pearly gates and all this other stuff, come on. And it was released on June 25th, 2011, second year anniversary to the death announcement. Let me do it. Sure. Okay, thank you, Michael, right? We know that is a death hoax clue, okay? And he plays the name game. Okay, so watch the documentary. There's a lot more stuff in there. Okay, if you got holes in it, it'll clear up all the holes. So watch the documentary. So anyway, so I sent that. So I asked the California Department of DMV. The guy called and he was like, "Oh no," he said. And then when I was cornering him and saying, "Well, has there ever been one Michael Joseph Jackson?" And he said, "Why are you asking me?" I said, "Because the coroner told me that you have it." Okay, so then he said, "Oh, I gotta talk to the legal department." Oh, I got to talk to the legal department. So then I get a letter, okay, from the California Department of Motor Vehicles, from their legal department, okay, from an attorney, okay, and I'll post this, okay, and it says, now this is legal jargon. Pretty much, I asked for a copy of Michael Jackson's driver's license, and I asked them, do you have it in the name of Michael Joseph Jackson? Okay. They said there are no identifiable records responsive to your request. Okay. They don't have a driver's license in the name of Michael Joseph Jackson, the DMV. And they say that the department does not retain copies of driver's licenses. And we're through. We're closing the case. They like, we're Bennett, we ain't in it. Okay. But they're letting me know there is no driver's license in the name of Michael Joseph Jackson. Okay. So when he said he used a driver's license to identify the body, that means he used it for the name and he used it to compare a visual comparison to it. Okay, but he doesn't have the driver's license in the name of Michael Joseph Jackson. Okay, and the Department of Public Health, who is the department in charge of death certificates, I went down there. First, I saw it in their book of policies and rules. It says that the name on the death certificate must match your legal birth name. Okay, and if you've had a legal name change, it must match that. There is no proof of any name change of Michael Jackson. Okay, so I am telling you guys that death certificate is invalid. Now, Luna Joe said, oh, maybe they used the social security number. Well, maybe, whatever. You can maybe till doomsday, okay? But the fact is, there is no driver's license in the name of Michael Joseph Jackson. And that is how the LA coroner said they identified the body, was through a driver's license. So the coroner has lied. He has lied, you guys. Can you believe that? Michael faked his death, I'm telling you. And why in the Macauley Culkin thing it says bribe the coroner? Okay, now that's on my Pearl Junior group too. So go ahead and read that article. That's there. How the Beginner's Guide to Faking Your Death by Macauley Culkin, Bunny Ears, Paris with the bunny ears, bunnyears.com. And then Peter posted, happy birthday to Bunny DeBarge. I bet it ain't even her birthday yet. So I'm telling you guys, they're letting us know, okay, that Michael faked his death, period. Okay, so there's a couple of more things that I want to talk about. Where are my other notes? Okay, here we go. I'm not done yet. I'm not done. Okay, so now we go to, okay, little drama surrounding this one, okay? But on my reading of my script, the screenplay that I read, I mentioned 7 different websites that were registered about Michael not being dead. So go back and watch my script reading. And all these domains that were registered on June 25th. Michael Jackson not dead, MJ is alive, Michael Jackson alive, Michael Jackson fake death, Michael Jackson death hoax, Michael Jackson hoax death, I am MichaelJackson.com. That was him saying, yeah, I did it, right? But they were all private. So you didn't know who really registered them, but they were all registered on June 25th, 2009. Okay. So after I read that, I decided I'm going to check on these because I purchased Michael Jackson Death Hoax when it expired, because most of these expired and they really never became websites, except I think Michael Jackson Hoax Death became a website, and there's a Michael Jackson Hoax Death forum that's still doing things, and they did great work. I mentioned them in all my credits. They do great work over there. They don't like me much, but because a lot of the people that do Death Hoax, they think we're in a competition, but we're really a family, and some of us get it, like Tiger Believe and Catherine Douche. You could say that word wrong, so I had to spell it. But some of us get along. Also, who's the other one? I really like her. Oh, I'm so Tina Dunn. She does really good. And so anyway, so I decided to look up these domains because I owned one and I let one lapse, right? So then while I'm looking them up, I find out that MichaelJacksonDeathHoax.com, and I use Whois. If anybody goes back and uses my stuff, I use Whois.com. And I found out that one of them is registered by the Michael Jackson estate, the one that I owned, the one that I let lapse. Not all the 7 other ones, okay? But the one that I let lapse was picked up and purchased by Gregory J. Chamberlain, and it's owned by the Michael Jackson estate. Why would the Michael Jackson estate purchase the domain, especially the one I owned, okay, in the name of the name of the Michael Jackson estate? Michael Jackson Death Hoax. Okay, the drama behind it is Brandy apparently reported on it, Brandy Lewis, and she thought that I stole it from her. And I didn't give her credit, But the truth is that sometimes you can do simultaneous research. I mentioned it, I looked it up, so she looked it up, and maybe she heard me say it on my reading. I don't know. You know what I mean? But, Brandy, if you want credit, honey, you can have the credit. But the credit really goes to the Michael Jackson Hoax Death Forum, because when I was doing research after Brandy said I stole it from her, I noticed that they also reported on it, and they reported on it soon after it was done. It was done, it was registered July 19th, 2017. Okay. So, and they reported on it like weeks or days after that. So they're the ones that really deserve the credit. So, I give it to whoever. Brandy, if you want it, Michael Jackson Hoax Forum, you deserve it. And then I just happened to find it on my own. So things sometimes happen that kind of way, and it's not any harm, any foul. It's just the way that it is. So anyway, I just wanted to address that. So then, because anybody who knows me, that I do call outs when I was doing the documentaries. I posted, hey, anybody who want to be in the credits, I don't want to forget anybody. I did like 3 or 4 call outs, and I have so many fans. And some fans said, I didn't really find any clues, but can I be in the credits? And I would say, sure, of course you can. You're a believer. You're here. You're a part of our family. So I have hundreds and hundreds of credits to all the fans that have been a part of finding clues. And it's not just me, it's a lot of us. There was so many. I just can't just look at the credits, and you will see that there's so many fans that find so much stuff. And I thank each and every one of you for participating in as an investigator. Okay. Now, we'll go back to 7/19. So if it was registered on 7/19, what was going on that day? Well, I went back, and the weird thing is that on that day, I had released a clue by Omar Bhatti, Michael's play son. Okay, Omar Bhatti. Michael and him met, I think, when he was like 12 years old, and his parents came out, and he was such a talented little kid that they lived with Michael, and his parents were like, they worked for Michael. Let's just put they worked for Michael. And so Omar Bhatti, he was dancing, and he was dancing with a flight of a bumblebee. He was dancing with a bumblebee. Gosh, I can't even say it. Bumblebee. Okay, bumblebee. And that goes back to another clue: the flight of the bumblebee, which is a song in a play about a son trying to tell his father that he was still alive, right? And the music matches the music on the Michael album, Breaking News, with the controversy. It's the beginning part. And was that Jason Malachi? Was there that Michael? Jason Malachi, the letters are all in the name Michael Jackson. And was Michael, in my opinion, Michael probably distorted his voice so that the fans would all buy the album saying, is it Michael? Isn't it? Is it? Isn't it? Isn't it? I think it was a publicity stunt. Okay, that's my opinion. I don't know. I wasn't there when Michael recorded, the 3 songs that are in question. Okay, but anyway, Flight of the Bumblebee. So that's the day that I released the video of Omar and Flight of the Bumblebee. And the funny thing is, that was the last video that I had done for months until I started doing these live videos about a month ago. And so that's kind of weird. Then the day before, July 18th, Paris posted the cover of the Janis Joplin album called Pearl. So you always got to, match. Michael likes to match dates and times, and it's a whole mentality to this death hoax. And if you are a believer and you've been around for a long time, you know that Michael likes matching dates and times and clues, and he has to come up with all this stuff. It's not easy to come up with this stuff. So anyway, before I leave out, I would like to wish Marlon Jackson a happy birthday, and also my sister Pamela. Happy birthday, Pamela. So I'm going to be seeing my sister this weekend, all me, and I have 3 older sisters. I'm the baby sister. And we're going to my sister's timeshare in Palm Springs, and we're going to think about something that me and the sisters can do together and celebrate my sister's birthday. So they're probably calling, going, what time are you leaving? What time are you leaving? What you wearing? What you bringing? You know how sisters do, how girls do. So that's where I'm going to be, but I'll still have my phone with me. So I'll be able to try to keep up and answer some questions if you guys have some. Also on Marlon's birthday. Okay, so anybody who says, how do we know that the guy Gregory J. Chamberlain is, and it says the Michael Jackson estate is a real guy? Does he really work for the estate? Well, he's in the credits of This Is It. Also, he owns the domain michaeljacksonthisIsit.com. Also, michaeljacksonlive.com. Who remembers that? That's where they sold the tickets to This Is It, right? And that's also registered under the name of Gregory J. Chamberlain. Now, that was registered March 12th, I think the year 2000, if my memory serves me right. But it was March 12th that was registered. So that was registered on Marlon's birthday. And it was registered, I think in the year 2000, I'm pretty sure. And so you got to remember that I prove in the Alive trilogy that Michael Jackson planned to fake his death during Invincible. And it's been in his mindset for a long, long time. And in some of the Glinda tapes, I think her husband's on the phone. And I didn't put that in the documentaries because I want to do a live four. But Cecil works, and right now, for me not to work and to afford to do the Michaeling, and I got to get my $75,000 back that I invested in these 3 documentaries. That's what I'm trying to do at $8 a pop. It's a lot of documentaries that have to be sold, especially when, and that's if you view it, but if you buy all 3, yeah, it's about $8 because they're $24 and change, and you get all 3 of them. Or you can buy them separately, or you can buy them as a, or you can buy them. Here you go. There, make sure no glare. You can buy them on Amazon. It's called the Alive Trilogy of Michael Jackson Documentaries. Alive 1, that was released in 2011. And then we finished it in the 2010, but 2011. And then that was on Netflix, which we never got paid right for. Okay, Alive 2, released 2016, and then Alive 3 is so coincidental that the first time Peter called me was January 15th, 2012, which ended up being a whole year-long clue connected to a Rare Pearl, Mama's Pearl song, and then they released the cartoon series on January 15th. It's just the big, cute clue that he did for me for a whole year. But you got to watch Alive 3. That's an Alive 3 if you want to learn about that. But anyway, this was released on January 15, 2017, and I did not make it match that day. That's when we were really, truly finished with it. Really, honestly. I know. This is so weird how things just kind of match up, because I guess if the spirits are all together and everything's working and it's all matching, it's all good. Also, the number 7 and 11, that's a big thing that I talk about. So, Brandy's yelling and screaming about stealing stuff. Well, I think she did a video on 7-Eleven because I had to go back and find out what the heck she's talking about. So I ended up watching a few of her videos, and she's doing the whole thing with the number 7 and 11. And if you look at my documentaries, I do a whole thing on 7 and 11. So did she steal that from me? You're a terrible person. You're awful. So anyway, it just we're all going down the same road. Things are going to match up. Sometimes things are just going to coincidentally look like somebody stole from somebody, but we're all finding the same stuff because we're all looking for the same thing. And one thing will trigger something else. So just let it go. And it's all good with me. I don't want any enemies, even though some people want to have enemies. Okay. So anyway, also I'd like to thank Julie Vito. She did she's the one that, what did she do? She's the one that told me about the Pearl album, the Janis Joplin Pearl album, and also she's the one that told me about a lot of things, also the Bumblebee. So if I don't give credit, please forgive me. I can't remember everybody. I do try. So anyway, guys, let's see. Oh, remember the comeback where Peter posted Majestic saying it's going to be a comeback, the greatest comeback. I did it in a video a few times ago, and then Joe posted the same thing. Papa Joe's the comeback. It's a comeback. I'm doing the biggest comeback ever. Well, anyway, guys, what's a great day for a comeback? And I don't know, Michael, he'll do everything to prepare, and then he'll chicken out at the last minute. But this year, Easter falls on April Fool's Day. So that would be perfect. Resurrection. Haha, it's a prank. It was a hoax. I ain't dead after all. So anyway, guys, this is Pearl Jr., and I hope that I've said everything that I needed to say. Yes, I think I did. Well, anyway, guys, this is Pearl Jr. with another live broadcast. If there's anything that in here that you need to see, I will post it in my Facebook Pearl Jr. group. And don't forget to order your copy of a live trilogy of Michael Jackson documentaries on Amazon.com, or you can watch on Vimeo.com worldwide 24/7. and fans from 35 different countries have watched. So anyway, that's on Vimeo.com, and I will leave the link below in the description. And I'm going to have fun with my sisters, and I hope to see you next time. Bye, guys.